problematic. Anybody, this area, we talked about it already. If you start getting a blister there, you can cut out the insert or cut out a hole from your insert, and that will release some of your pressure, but it's not going to take away the blister. Okay? So how do you treat that? So same way, same thing we did before, but there's a couple things you can do, and I do this a couple different ways. I'm losing stuff. So on this one, I'm actually going to go on both sides of the foot, okay, like this. Drop your foot down, okay? So I'm going to go around her foot, not just on the bottom of it, and that way the tape will stick better, okay? But here's a problem area. So I know I can get the tape to cover up this much area, but I'm still missing this area right here, right? There's a couple things you can do. One of them's kind of complicated, okay? So if you have time, okay, one of the things you can do is this. And again, if you do some of these pre, then they'll be ready for you when you need them.
Like little paper stick figures.
What?
Little paper snowflakes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I would probably make this a little bit longer, especially down here, okay? And I'll show you why.
Like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Spread your toes.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh. This is to prevent from wrapping all the way around the foot, or is this in addition to that?
This is in addition to that. And I probably would have made this a little bit bigger, so it came down here further. And I'll just do another one just so you can see it. Yeah, yep, absolutely. And I'll show you why. Okay.
Question. If you put the benzoin everywhere you put the KT tape,
Absolute.
like you would put it all the way around her foot and then the KT tape. Okay.
Yeah, I put all around every place where there's tape, that's where benzoin's going. Okay?
Okay.
Everywhere there's tape, that's where benzoin's going.
Okay.
Everywhere there's tape, that's where benzoin's going.
Everywhere there's tape.
Where do we put the benzene?
Okay. Everywhere.
I spent 36 years in the Army, okay? And I spent 14 of that as a PA, teaching medics, okay? And so when I say things, I know I have to repeat them over and over again because they're 18 years old and
They know everything.
no, they know nothing.
Yeah.
Like there's like 3 that know something. And the other ones you got to watch out for because they're smarter than you. I should say smarter than me because nobody's smarter than you guys. So.
You're not the cool guy.
Never had that happen before. So must be a cool guy, huh?
Yeah.
When you put the benzoin on, do you have to wait for it to dry?
Yeah, oh, that's a good point. Thank you, because you remember that from the trail camp. So benzoin, in order for it to work, it has to be dry. Most people make the mistake of putting the benzoin and then taping right over that. And that's a fail, okay? That's like me tearing the tape. This was cut too long. See, this takes practice, so, but again, my whole idea is to cover this area right here, okay? So you can see I made this one bigger, right?
So you would basically pre-tape anything, like if you know I generally get a blister here, I should pre-tape.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's one way to do it, where you're doing stuff like this.
So you're gonna be getting blisters or rubbing in between the toes?
Yeah, this is, yeah, you may. Again, it's a trade-off, right? I mean, absolutely. That's why I cut it very, very small. And toe socks obviously help that as well, okay? So, and again, it's very thin in there. It's not, it's not a big, thick layer of it. But you're right. Again, this is because you're trying to finish a race, okay? This is because, usually when you're having blisters up here, if you're taping here, there's probably issues going on. And so your goal is to finish because you want the belt buckle. Because I don't care what anybody says, it's all about the belt buckle. That's just me though. Am I the only one that thinks the belt buckle is the most important? No.
You just love the blend.
I do. I'm not afraid to say that either.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Depends on how many you
have already.
Well, yeah, but I'm certainly not you, so I don't have that many, and I don't have I certainly don't have the historical reference that you have, and you're a legend, and I'm just one in my mind.
He needs the buckle to reinforce.
Yeah. I'm just a mere mortal, you know.
I'm getting more mortal every year.
Yeah, but you certainly set the stage for the rest of us to follow. So I don't have that yet. So probably never will. And following you was pretty cool too. Like, you know, your last attempt and all that. You know, it's pretty fun. Just like that. So I went all the way around, and again, there's benzoin on there, right? So everywhere you tape, you put.
It's benzoin.
Okay, good.
But you let it dry first.
Yeah, but you let it dry first, okay? So that's one way to do it, okay? Now, if you have, there's another really, like, this is another thing, I just kind of want to point this out because this may or may not work, depending. But I just want to point out something to you, okay? So this is this. A little foot, right? Although I did it the wrong way, though. So I have medics to clean up after me, so I'm just used to dropping stuff on the floor.
That makes so much fun in there.
Yeah.
And see, I made that little foot so I could put that here. And you can see that I put this on last. The end piece I put on last. Because if I went the other way, see, there's a reason I did that on purpose. Not really. But if I put this, so like say I put this next layer on, the layer that went all the way around the foot on now, as opposed to the way I did it, then I have this right here, right, all going all the way around, and look, that's just going to come off, okay? So I have this end kind of protected by the toes, right? The ends of the toes kind of protect this end right here, but now it's tucked up underneath it, and so this won't come off. If I did this outside layer that went all the way around in this area on next, it's really just because what are you doing? You're hitting forefoot, right? Because everybody forefoot strikes, right?
Is the tape going to stick to other tape when
This
it's not
will.
stuck to skin?
This will, yes. So the other thing they say, okay, is to rub the tape a little bit, and that activates the heat. I don't know how much I buy that, but anyway, I do it anyway, just because that way I get to touch Danny's feet longer. Not really, but anyway. So toes, between the toes, forefoot. Okay? So toes, between the toes, forefoot. Now we're going to do heel. Okay?